Movie Age presents the adventures of Jurassic Pet. In the beginning of this story, a man is shown in the jungle who gets a huge egg. Then a dinosaur comes after him. This egg belongs to this dinosaur. 5 years pass where a lab is shown in the jungle. In this lab, scientists want to make a new dinosaur from the DNA of the crocodile and the dinosaur. And if they don't do it soon, then the funding that they get from their lab will be shut down. On the other hand, we are shown a child named Chris who goes to a showroom called World of Wonder. In this showroom, there is the same old man who got a dinosaur egg 5 years ago in the jungle. Chris says, "Show me something special." He shows Chris a lot of things, but Chris doesn't like anything. After which he gives him a wooden box and says that there is something special in it. You have to keep in mind, Chris comes home with the box, and when he opens the box, there is a huge egg inside. Chris sees on the internet that if an egg is heated, the child comes out of it. That's why he wraps it in a blanket and goes to eat. And when he comes back and picks up the egg, it starts cracking. Chris gets scared by this. The egg is released from his hand and the dinosaur comes out of the egg and starts jumping inside the room. He gets scared of Chris and goes under the bed. Chris puts candies in front of him to get him out, the smell of which brings the dinosaur out. After eating the candies, the dinosaur believes that Chris will not harm him. They become friends. Chris brings more food for him, and the next morning, he puts it in his bag and takes the dinosaur to school. Only then Chris's two friends come there. The dinosaur comes out of the bag and his friends see the dinosaur. Chris says that he is his friend. But the surprising thing here is that the size of the dinosaur has increased a lot over one night, because of which Chris is worried and thinks that he can't hide it for long. That's why he decides to go to the store and return the dinosaur. But when he goes to the store name is changed. When he goes inside, he is not even a man, but a lady. Then Chris sees the photo of the lady and says that he met her yesterday. The lady says that he is her husband who died 5 years ago. Chris doesn't understand anything. Now he takes his dinosaur to the dinosaur museum. He has come here with his school. He wants to meet a scientist. It is said to wait for it. It starts roaming around in the Greece Museum. There are many dinosaurs remains here. Then the dinosaur comes out of its bag and goes to the skeletons of other dinosaurs. Some people see it here, but everyone thinks that it is a toy. But the scientist sees it in the CCTV camera and quickly goes to the place where the dinosaur is. But here, the crowd is everywhere. All the children start running. The dinosaur also understands that his life is in danger, so he comes out. Chris also goes after him. He stops in front of a pond of water. Then Chris opens his bag and the dinosaur goes inside. And before Chris leaves, a scientist comes here who says that he wants to check Chris's bag. But Chris doesn't want to hand over his dinosaur to him, so he runs away from him. He knows that the dinosaur is hungry, so he takes it to a supermarket where he sees a dog and starts barking at it, which scares the dinosaur. He starts running around the supermarket, which causes a lot of trouble. In the same way, the dinosaur comes out where an old man is putting the stuff of the supermarket in his car. The dinosaur also sits in his car quietly. Before he reaches the car, Chris takes the car and leaves. When the old man reaches home, he sees a dinosaur in his car which has eaten all his food, and now its size has also increased. The old man gets scared of the dinosaur, so he gets his gun and shoots it, but it survives. After this, the old man calls the police. The police come there and they catch the dinosaur. But no one believes that it is a dinosaur. Everyone thinks that it is a strange-looking animal. Chris also arrives here and sees the police taking his dinosaur. Chris follows him to the police station. But before he frees his dinosaur, the police officer sees him and asks him to go out. Chris is worried because he wants to save the dinosaur. He goes somewhere and sits down. There is an old man in front of him. His face looks like the same man who gave him an egg. Chris asks, "Will you help me? I have a dinosaur that the police have caught." He says that you should not keep the dinosaur at home, but you should leave it in the jungle. However, before they let the dinosaur free, the scientist reached with his team, who takes the dinosaur in his car and goes to the lab. The old man with Chris brings his car, and the two of them start following them. They reach the lab quickly where there are security guards. The old man says, "You go find your dinosaur. I will distract them." Chris goes to find his dinosaur. He reaches the place where the dinosaur is. Now his size has increased a lot. The dinosaur is very happy to see Chris, but then the guards come from behind and shoot it. But before they take Chris with them, the old man attacks them with a briefcase and makes them unconscious. Chris takes out the key and frees the dinosaur. But before he takes the dinosaur away from here, the scientist stops them with his guards and aims at them. Only then the dinosaur comes out, which has grown a lot, which is now angry. Although it is being attacked, it runs away from here. The old man and Chris also run towards the jungle behind him. The scientist also follows them with his people. The dinosaur. The old man and Chris go to the rocks where they hide in a cave. But now the scientist has reached here with his people who want to take the dinosaur with them to experiment on it. But Chris doesn't want to do that. Although he gives Chris greed that if he returns the dinosaur, he will give Chris a lot of money, but Chris doesn't listen to him. He takes the dinosaur and moves ahead. Then the old man says to Chris that you have to let the dinosaur go. This is his home. You can't keep him with you. Chris, who loves the dinosaur, realizes that he can't keep him in his home. This is his home. That's why he says goodbye. Although the dinosaur doesn't want to leave him, but he has also realized that this forest is his home. So he goes towards the thick forest. Chris and the old man go out of the forest. Then the scientist reaches out to them and catches them. He asks where the dinosaur is. Chris says that you will never find the dinosaur again. Before the scientist forces them, the police car siren rings, which leads the scientist to the forest with his people. Because whatever experiments he was doing in his lab were all illegal. And if the police finds out about this, then the police will catch all his people along with him. Chris ends up at the same shop with the old man, from where he got the egg. He is sitting with him only when two of Chris's friends come and ask him about the dinosaur. Chris says that he has reached his house. That is, the forest. As he turns back to meet his friend, no one is sitting on the chair. Chris is surprised. He looks inside the shop where the old man is. He smiles at Chris and disappears after saying final goodbye. Chris realizes that this was the old man's soul, the soul that came to save the dinosaur. Then the same dinosaur is shown to us who is living a free life in the jungle. The old man's goal has been fulfilled. And with this film ends here. Hope you liked this story.